We all know that Central Texas has some of the best barbecue in the world. Micklethwait Craft Meats is among the best of that barbecue, which means that they're among the very best barbecue in the world. It's a crazy thing to think because, one, it's true, and two, if you're in Austin, you can just go there and get it. You don't need to make a reservation or wait in an hours-long line or anything. Welcome to Bon Temps Club, a podcast about good times and the people who make them possible. I'm your host, Will Hubble. In this episode, I'm joined by Tom Micklethwait and Ren Garcia from Micklethwait Craft Meats. They were kind and patient enough to come in on an off day and watch me fumble through a few conceptual segments, some of which have been cut. It probably helped that I brought tequila and cheap beer. In a town filled with some of the best barbecue in the world, Micklethwait stands apart. Not only do they have amazing brisket, ribs, and sausage, but everything else they do, and they do a lot of things uniquely, is incredible. They make barbacoa tacos I don't think you can really beat. These days they've been making some pastrami, and their pastrami is great. Of course, all of their sides are amazing. The lemon poppy seed coleslaw is bright and refreshing. It pairs well with the Texas sun. The 3-cheese grits were actually the first thing that really caught my attention about this place. The first time I had them during the pandemic, I thought, these are the best grits I've ever had, and that means something to me because I'm a Southern boy. They have amazing key lime pie. They make all of their own bread. They make kolaches and other kinds of pastries. Not to mention special after special. You can taste the passion. It's not only tangible, it's edible. We shot and recorded this episode at Saddle Up, the bar they have on the property. We had a lot of fun, so I hope you enjoy this first episode of Bon Temps Club. Salud, everybody.
Salud.
Gracias.
Yum, yum.
All right. Sweet. So, welcome to the first episode of Bon Temps Club, as in Laissez le Bon Temps Rouler. I'm your host, Will Hubble, and it is Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, in Austin, Texas, and it's hot as balls outside. I'm joined today by Tom Micklethwait and Ren Garcia.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello. Micklethwait Craft Meats. We're actually in Saddle Up right now. Do you consider these separate businesses?
No, it's all the same place.
It's all the compound.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or camp.
Yeah.
Barbecue camp.
Barbecue Funland.
On the east side.
Thank you
There
all
you
for
go.
being on the show.
Yeah,
I
of
really
course.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
So Micklethwait Craft Meats and Saddle Up, the whole complex, the whole, it's you started with like artisanal kind of craft barbecue, right?
Correct.
And everything is from scratch. Everything is like kind of well thought out. You're not, sourcing, your sides from somebody else. You came up with all these recipes yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And it's all really good.
a fresh approach to barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing that actually like really made me go like, oh wow, was the grits. I don't know, you've probably heard that before, but like
Popular item.
yeah, because I don't really care for mac and cheese at barbecue places a lot of the time. But grits are, I grew up on grits. I like some of my earliest memories are like grits and cream of wheat.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Love cream of wheat.
yeah, you still eat cream of wheat?
I haven't in a while, but I grew up
From New Orleans, is that right?
I am from New Orleans. Yeah, that's going to be a recurring theme in this show if it keeps going on.
Oh, hence the name.
What part of
I
town?
get it.
Well, we, I was born in, in New Orleans proper, but we lived in Metairie for,
cool.
a little while. And then I've lived all over the country. When I last lived in New Orleans, I was in Uptown. I was in the Lower Garden District.
Nice.
Yeah, I was right around the corner from Stein's, and that was a pleasure and a privilege. I love Stein's. I love a good pastrami sandwich, and y'all got the pastrami sandwich going on. You had it going on last weekend. I'm actually going to ask you questions about pastrami specifically because I've been on such a pastrami kick, and I don't actually technically know what it is. Let me actually just ask you right now. It's like brisket smoked with certain seasonings. How does pastrami work?
Cured. It's got a curing agent added.
Okay.
So.
What is that? Is it like a salt? Is it kind of salt?
It is a sodium compound.
Okay. Are you not allowed to say? Is that part of like
do,
the
No,
secret?
it's
We do a few different types. Tom does like a dry-ish kind of rub, and then that sits and cures for like a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
And then I do a brine-ish kind of pickling of it.
Wet brine versus dry.
Yeah. So there's two different
Okay.
versions that we do. The one you had last week was the one I do.
Okay.
Brian. We also do pastrami dogs, which is kind of fun too.
Yeah,
it's going to be kind of new on our new venture.
And I wanted to ask you about that because I know y'all have like, you just got the new trailer, and I got to get some footage of that. But I know you have like a new kind of revised menu coming out, right?
Yeah, that'll be launched in a few weeks.
So what's different on that than what you have right now?
Got rid of brisket.
You getting rid of brisket?
Nothing but pulled pork. From now on. Taking the East Coast approach to barbecue.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Mix it up a little.
Right. Yeah. We got to get these
You want
Texas
to
folks
stand
out
out,
of
you got to
here.
do something different.
Absolutely.
Taking the Texas
yeah.
out of the smoke.
Yeah, liquid smoke. That's our
Yeah.
secret ingredient.
It's a way to save a lot of money.
I actually
less labor.
Yeah. Right. I mean, how long does it take to make a brisket anyway?
Oh, it takes a cow anywhere from 12 to 18 months. But no, it's anywhere from, depending on the weather, in the summertime, 7 or 8 hours in the smoker. In the wintertime, it can be more like 10 or 12, depending on if it's cold and wet, and it slows down the cooking process. And
What about when it's like 102 degrees outside?
Real
cooks
quick.
fast.
Yeah, I bet.
You don't even
6
need to
hours
use
maybe.
wood.
Really?
It's solar
You
powered.
just
put it in the tank.
You just put a fan in it blows the hot air right in. But that's just like the cooking process. There's the trimming process of it, and then
Yeah.
So that's another
Resting
hour.
after the pit, it's like another 12 hours of kind of resting it.
Yeah.
High temperature, it's part of the cooking process. So.
Is there a word for what the brisket itself is doing when it's in the smoker? Is it just smoking? Is it? It's not baking, right? Like, is it?
No, I would say it's smoking.
It's smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're smoking the brisket, and then the brisket's also smoking.
Right,
This is really not an important question. I was just kind of thinking about this. the other
It's all
day.
the things. It's a verb. It's an adjective.
Yeah.
They can't-
All right, let's take a little trip down memory lane. Somebody asked me to ask about this,
Uh-oh.
and I've talked to you about this before. Yellow Jacket.
Yep.
You used to have the truck outside of Yellow Jacket?
No.
Am I wrong about that? Okay.
No, I actually found some pictures of this recently, or it's unearthed it somewhere. So in longer story, connection with Yellow Jacket. So before I opened, I would do pop-ups at Trailer Space Records. It used to be right here.
I was going to ask you about that too. Yeah.
And,
right here in the corner.
Yeah, it was just across, next to East Side Pies. It's what's now
Right. The
the-
Soup Peddler.
Pollo Project and Soup Peddler was all
Yeah.
a record store. So I do
I've
pop-ups
been to punk shows there.
At what used to be Red 7 Bar downtown, they would have like these monthly flea markets. I would go do
Oh, okay.
pop-ups there for fun and
No kidding.
cook food and
I used to go
serve
Red
food to
7 all the
people.
time
And,
too.
and then Yellow Jacket I started doing because my friend Chris was their kitchen manager. I can't remember this story. He'd like been tasked with putting together a Labor Day party, and they wanted barbecue, but he didn't want to deal with it, kind of. So
Okay.
I was like, well, I'll come over. And so the deal was I would do these pop-ups. I would like, once a month. It was like for 3 months before I opened, I'd go there like once a month and do these barbecue pop-ups, like barbecue day, and then.
That's awesome.
So I was doing it for a long time, and like they were my commissary kitchen, and ultimately Chris got fired, and I was like, well, can I still use you for the commissary kitchen? They're like, what are you talking about? Chris didn't say anything about this.
What-
So he
what's
like
the
made this
commissary
side deal
kitchen?
with me that, like the commissary is where we would take our gray water and do storage, and like
Oh, okay.
they're all old friends. So I was like, doing these pop-ups, and it was a good way to kind of get like get out there and sort of promote before I opened. But once he was gone, the owners had no idea that we'd made this like side deal or whatever. But we were all old friends, so I used it
Yeah.
for my commissary for like the first year or so. But I would just take the smoker out there and set up in the parking lot, and like we had a deal worked out where they would like sell tickets at the bar and
Cool.
do that sort of thing. And
How
so
long have you been doing barbecue before then?
that was pretty much it. So
Oh, okay. So
that
you
was-
just kind of started. You immediately started doing barbecue.
Yeah, no, I started
for
just doing
punks.
pop-ups. I did it in my backyard for years, and like
Yeah.
for parties or whatever for fun.
That's right.
So
So
it was
your
kind of
first
transition from that
clientele
to-
were like tattooed, like
Yeah.
people wearing black T-shirts, like
Yeah, punk rock clubs, record stores,
headbangers.
bars,
Yeah,
all that.
That's
so.
awesome.
Guys.
Tillery plant company. You did a
Oh
couple
yeah, I
of it?
did like one at Tillery, which is, I met a lot of people there that I still know. It was like a makers fair
Okay.
that I did at Tillery. Well, it's not a Tillery Plant Company. What was it? They had like another name for the Tillery project back in the day when it was
what was it called?
more like this quasi makers thing, like all the spaces.
Yeah,
It
Bill
was-
Space. I can't remember what it's called.
Like the plant company had just opened, but they would do these like makers markets where just people that had like small startups would get invited.
Yeah.
So I did that like once or twice, like right before I opened. So it was a lot of just like around town, like just like small pop-ups
And you told me you used to occasionally sleep at Trailer Space, right?
Oh yeah, not occasionally. I would sleep there a lot.
Yeah.
I'd work here overnight. Like that was, I had a key to the record
Here
store.
specifically?
Yeah. When
Before
I
you
opened.
took over Saddle Up, of course.
Oh yeah, this was like 10 years ago, and
Yeah.
it was mostly like the first spring, like the first 6 months when I was open. I'd come up here and like start cooking at like 8 o'clock at night or whatever, and I would stay up all night, and I would go over there and sleep from like 1 to 3 or something like this, and lit on the fire. And they would all like every time of the weekend, it'd be like people just kind of roll in. They were like partying.
Yeah.
I'd be
yeah.
sleeping on the couch, and people would just show up there and like pass out or whatever.
Yeah.
I would just go there and basically like take a nap or something, like catch a couple hours of sleep, and come back and finish cooking for the next day.
Nice. So, Ren, when did you get involved with all of this?
When did I get involved? I must say
6 years
80?
ago?
No. It's at least 7.5 now.
Were you already,
No,
smoking
it's over
brisket
7.
and stuff on your own before you came in?
I mean, I grew up around barbecue because I'm from South Texas, but
Okay.
not anything to this scale.
Yeah.
And this kind of quality.
South
of
Texas
stuff.
has a strong barbecue culture.
Yeah, it's different, but yeah,
Okay.
nothing of this like scale and quality of
Yeah.
barbecue. It's just.
But you were
completely
taking it
different
seriously.
thing.
Did you ever eat
Just
green
knew this
spaghetti?
thing.
Green? I know I haven't.
Really, it's a South Texas thing. Reese
Uh,
Brothers in San Antonio does it too.
Oh, really?
But they do it with shells.
I would say back in like where I grew up, it's more kind of like tastes like our barbecue here. It's just done differently. It's like there's different cuts of meat. It's different. It's mesquite instead of oak, so but it's very similar.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
You
just
ever,
more
like,
Mexican style.
Make stuff with mesquite just out of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got about 300 pounds of mesquite.
I saw that.
That was delivered for an event we're not doing.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think after I was doing, me and Tom used to work together back in the days, and then I think after I was doing some other stints of stuff, I was just like in between. I used to be blacksmith and welding as well.
No
so
kidding.
Like I was kind of doing that part time, and
So
then
were you making smokers?
Perfect blend of kitchen and fire.
Yeah.
I have dabbled in making smokers, but
Yeah.
I've nothing like this. But yeah, I was just kind of like looking for something to do, and then Tom hit me up, and that's how we got started together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did y'all meet?
That was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
Tom-
was the Italian place that used to be,
Yeah.
and you were cooking there. I remember.
Yeah, I was the pasta guy
You're the pasta guy.
at the Italian place.
And then you started doing all the butchering and sausage. and-
Butchering,
But I was like
I made the breads.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
He went like he did, even
Did
though I
all
was
the,
like the
packing
kitchen
and
manager
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
I think he walked in, and when he started working there, he was pasta for a long time. But like, he actually got a chance to like learn a lot of the stuff there. Like when I was just like the kitchen manager, I was just like kind of just inventory slut and like
Okay.
ordering things. But
So
we worked there a couple of years together or something.
gotcha.
3 years?
2 or 3 years.
I started, I think it's almost 3. So I started in October, I think, right when I turned 30.
And
And
he-
I left in like August, right before I opened the trailer, and I was like 33.
Yeah.
So probably like, just under 3 years.
Him and his dad were building out the old trailer, like
Yeah.
while he was working there.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, he helped me with the old trailer, like the original trailer, and some of the stuff on the smoker, like the enclosure. Then a buddy of mine built the original smoker,
Okay.
sort of. Well, it was it was so the original smoker was like this it was a water boiler from my high school
Sure.
that I bought from this kid who had gotten it from the welding instructor, and he was like 20 and like doing welding, so it was like half built, and he like gave up on it. So I bought it, and I was like, this is great, it's already halfway built.
You just need like a tank, right? Like,
Yeah, it was a beast. The plate on it was like, I mean, it was like
Super heavy.
Like he almost had to
It's
get
like
like a
bulletproof.
special torch just to cut out to put the firebox on. So it's this pressurized water boiler. So it was like super thick. But it was like just a tank on legs. So we built the firebox and we did all that. It took about a year to put all the pieces together, I guess.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Does that change how you cook the brisket when it's the tank is weird like that?
Yeah, I mean they're all different, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
All
even
smokers are
propane
different.
tanks. Are
So you
all
have to learn the
different.
smoker.
Oh yeah.
And it was definitely a learning process. And it's a good thing about having welder friends. You can be like, hey, I think this pipe's too small. Let's put a bigger one on it.
Yeah,
So we kinda,
fair enough.
Cut it out and kept kind of refitting it until it cooked well and liked it. And then we just built another one. So,
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have 3 now, and each one of them cooked differently.
So you have the one out there.
That's the new original.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that one's the like sort of like the OG
Second
propane
generation.
one. That was
Okay.
That was the third pit. But the first one made out of a propane tank. I built that one for the first PGA tournament we did. And it cooks, I think it's maybe the best of the 3.
That's
we
the
have
best.
now.
Yeah.
And we have a 500 gallon and another 1,000 gallon pit at the kitchen. The 500 gallon cooks better than the 1,000 gallon, but they cook different. It's like
That's at the old church.
Fast.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
So it all has to do with like that one has like the 500 gallon is like a short fat tank that has a huge firebox.
It cooks
So you
quick.
get really hot, which means you can get like a good clean, like super clean smoke. And, like
Interesting.
really like fire roasting things if you want.
And that would that just like take less time because it gets so hot?
Well, you can get like
Sometimes it's cleaner, like you get like cleaner color, cleaner flavor.
Interesting.
it's like if you wanted to do like pork steaks or whatever, like it would be like get great crust, but you would still be able to temp it in the middle where it's
Yeah.
still not like overdone, you know?
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Cooks like a furnace. It's just like
Yeah.
versus 1,000 gallon, which is a little bit slower. It's got more draw and it's not as good for some things, but it's better, I think, for doing briskets where you want more smoke, or if
Yeah.
you want to cold smoke something like sausage where you do like a pre-cook on it, so you can. So we kind of have this flexibility in our cooking because all the pits cook differently.
Yeah.
So you
That's
kinda
interesting.
And they're all great for mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Let me switch gears here for a second. Is watching the sausage be made really so horrible?
I don't think so. I think
No.
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, everybody's wrong about that then. I was listening to the episodes that you did with Tales from the Pit. Those are great episodes. I recommend anybody who's really into barbecue and stuff to go listen to those. Are we, based on what they were saying, are we kind of over brisket? I know you're kind of joking about that in the beginning here.
I don't think that. Well,
I know you probably can't
that's
say
a
that
very
we're over
good
brisket.
question. Are we over brisket? I think that like the era of like judging restaurants based on how good their brisket is over. I think that like there's more like sort of complexity to barbecue now.
Yeah.
And then you can't pin things down to like this trinity of like 3 meats with brisket, sausage, and ribs, and
Right.
who cares about everything else, and there's the level, like the quality level of brisket across the board throughout the entire state and the world has been like picked up so high that it's
Right.
like, is somebody going to make a brisket that's better than anybody else or everybody else? We'll
Yeah.
say, put it that way. Like before it was kind of like, think about, have you ever seen the Highlander movie?
There can only be one.
There can only be one. It's
Yeah.
not that way anymore. And like now it's everyone. Like,
Yeah,
can only,
right.
It can only be everyone.
I bet the Japanese are really good at it.
So I think that like what what that translates to is like if you're trying to set yourself apart from other restaurants, I don't think it's so much like it's not so much like how good the meats are versus everything else. Now I think it's more like the personality of the restaurants and who the people are and the places and the stories. And it's the food quality across the board is like way elevated from where it used to be. So it's like a different, like the game's changed in that regard.
Yeah.
So does brisket not matter anymore? No.
Sure.
Like, it's just that, you know,
Even
across
It's not the most
board,
interesting
you can buy
thing.
good brisket pretty much anywhere and
Right.
everywhere now.
and there's so many videos out there that teach you how to trim it correctly and teach
Yeah.
you how to cook it. And so like
Yeah,
home
you
cooks,
can buy, you
home
know,
cook can do it. Even people with a green egg can do it, and it's
Yeah,
still going
right.
to come out solid. You know what I mean?
A brisket
So
or a
it's
Frankel
like
pit in your backyard and make the briskets and do it at your house.
so it's like other things that you would try to kind of elevate.
I have
know.
friends who've gotten into it as a hobby, and they've made some very good brisket.
Yeah, I mean,
I could see getting into that and just wanting to do that.
I've done tons of crappy ones
Yeah.
back in the days.
Yeah, you gotta make a lot of bad brisket before you make a good one.
Yeah,
That's how you learn.
fair enough. So we talked about pastrami a little bit. Yeah, on your pastrami sandwich, sauerkraut or coleslaw? We're basically
Sauerkraut.
Ruben or Rachel. Sauerkraut?
Always.
Ruben all the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
It has to be
Okay.
sauerkraut.
It has to be sauerkraut.
Has to.
I like a little coleslaw on mine. I have to be honest with you. I like a Rachel. I like it a lot.
Sorry to hear that.
I don't obviously I don't hate a Reuben, but I don't know. There's something about the crunch of the coleslaw that is very appealing to me.
I get that. I like fresh shaved cabbage on sandwiches. It's a textural thing.
Yeah.
But
Y'all's-
like
y'all's-
good fresh like homemade homemade sauerkraut will still have crunch, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a different flavor. It's not just like stuff out of a can where it's like boiled cabbage with like
Right.
vinegar added to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's actually fermented and it's like
Kind of I think like, you know, a true kosher pickle or like a half sour or something versus like out
Right.
of the jar pickles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fair enough. Why doesn't anybody ever smoke fish around here?
well,
I mean, we're not very close to the water, so I would guess that. But you eat oysters places like.
I mean you
so
can, but
smoked fish is good. It doesn't fall into the like traditional Texas barbecue lexicon. of,
Definitely
like,
not.
What you're gonna
No.
experience if you go to a Texas barbecue restaurant.
Yeah.
And Texas is not exemplary in its seafood on any level.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
You figure maybe Houston.
Don't bring
of
up
all places.
oysters. Texas oysters are crap.
and then the Gulf Coast is like
I like
90%.
Gulf oysters. I like
Only
that
if
they're
they're
like
fried.
giant and like mutated and
they're
like
great
filled
fried.
with BP
That's it.
oil and
Some of
shit.
them.
Like I'm okay with those.
Well, that
They have little to no
fecal
personality.
matter.
They're just big.
When you put a bunch of butter and garlic and Parmesan on
Oh, if you're gonna
So you're
bake them.
cooking. Like they have to be cooked.
Oh, if you're gonna bake them,
you
yeah.
don't have to be. I'll eat them with like a cracker and some,
I
Is your
do
cracker
too.
this
sauce.
big? Like a graham
It's
cracker?
like corn tortilla.
Listen, you can get them for $1 at Shoal Creek. I'm into. I'm not ever gonna shit talk Gulf oysters. Now, some of them might be more interesting and refined for your palate and
Like
stuff. but-
Apalachicola and Alabama probably has the best Gulf oysters. But
Say again?
Apalachicola
Oh, okay.
in Alabama, it's probably got the best Gulf oysters because it's like it's got some of the cleanest waters and some of the nicer oysters. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I wouldn't eat anything from coming out of like anything from Corpus Christi on up.
Basically, anything on this side of the Mississippi.
What is there, like
And even at that,
37
you're like
million people
you're
in
risking
Texas,
it.
and
Was it?
There's like 37 million people in Texas, and all that runoff goes into the Gulf.
Yeah.
Oysters soak it up.
So and they're and they
that
filter
how it
that. They
works? I
filter
don't-
that.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yep.
Have y'all been to Uptown Sports yet?
Uh-huh.
They just started doing for their happy hour. They just started doing East Coast char grilled oysters. So like in New Orleans they do char grilled oysters, but of course those are the Gulf oysters. But then the East Coast oysters are much smaller.
Blue Point or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, personal preference. I think it's kind of like this reverse logic. Like Texas oysters are like huge and meaty,
Yeah.
and they're good cooked.
Yeah.
Versus East Coast tend to be like smaller, and it's like more of like a refined
Briny.
thing,
It's weird to cook them.
brinier and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, it's kind of like you're cooking the wrong oysters. Like,
Do you make all the pastries every day?
maybe me personally?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you got people in the kitchen over
Yeah.
there working on that.
Kelly.
Okay.
She bakes for us.
Kelly makes she bakes the pastries. Y'all make a lot like every day, huh?
Well, it's, between like the breads and the quesadilla and desserts and all
Yeah.
that's a fair amount.
Buns.
Yeah, all the buns for the sandwiches.
What time do y'all open during the week usually, by the way?
11?
Do you have coffee here?
Saddle up's at
Yeah.
10.
Yeah,
And
so,
Ten?
so, you, so you can come and get pastries and espresso like at 10 o'clock.
Cappuccino and some
Yeah.
get some kolaches.
kolaches.
And then
some of the
pretty
kolaches
soon,
look amazing.
they are great.
Tasty.
And pretty soon when we get back from our summer break, we're gonna start doing extended hours. So like, Saddle Up will be open till like 10 o'clock. So we're hoping to turn
10
this in.
p.m.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're hoping to turn it into like, more of a hangout where people can have some,
Yeah.
come and get some like either frozens,
Oh,
rosés,
yeah.
or some beers, and then also the trailer's gonna be open for dinner, so you could still have the same exact menu from lunch to around 9 o'clock.
So how late? So you're gonna be open, the trailer's gonna be open until 10 p.m.
11 to 9.
11 to 9. Okay.
Yep.
That's
So
great.
then hopefully we can
Get some of the nightlife.
have
in the
more
neighborhood.
better use of
Yeah.
our we have a huge lot.
You gotta get some of the Nickel City crowd over here.
Yeah. But we've been renting this lot for a while, and ever since COVID we've gone down from Thursdays to Sundays,
Yeah.
because when COVID hit, it was just me and Tom.
Right.
And that's all we could do, and we were still working 70, 80 hours a week for
Sure.
like 4 days of service. So
Yeah.
it's just like what we kept doing, and it kind of did well for us for a little bit, but now it's time to use up our space that we rent.
Ease back in.
Yeah.
We have a huge lot. It's like 6,000 something.
This place, it's like, I think it's half an acre for the whole space.
Yeah.
It's a good amount of space.
And we're pretty much
Yeah,
like
for sure.
downtown East Austin, So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all seem busy as hell, both of y'all. How do you wind down? Movies, TV. You go out and like, swim in the lake or something like that.
Next week, summer break,
Yeah.
Do you get a break?
going to Maine.
Oh, cool.
I just got back from New Mexico, so I'm pretty well rested.
So vacations, really.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
you have to get out
Breaks.
of town.
If
See
you don't
something
get out,
different.
you're always gonna end up doing what you always do.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Even when you wake up, you're like, I really don't have to go in, but you end up going in. You end up doing like
There's always
what you
something.
always do.
Yeah.
And in a sense, like, me and Tom pretty much are kind of the voice of it, so we kind of oversee all the employees and everything that
Yeah.
goes on. Tom plants all the plants. I help him water it sometimes.
Fair
It's
enough.
like,
A lot
I
of
mean,
watering in the summer.
Yeah. I'm sure.
but like, not only that, but there's just like maintaining like all of our stuff. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to plumbing, electrical, whatever. Like, there's always something to be done.
Yeah, I'm sure. Are you ever gonna make a book
What about?
about food,
Oh.
barbecue?
I think
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
We know a publisher.
a
I
coffee
don't.
table book about coffee tables.
Okay. Well, I think we can move on to our last segment here, third segment. Do you want another shot?
Can I get like a halfie or like
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. This is
we'll take another beer too.
nondescript. Absolutely. You can have
Is
another
this
beer.
really George Clooney's?
This is somebody's. I don't know
Is
who's.
it Dan Aykroyd's tequila?
This is John Belushi's tequila.
Oh no.
So watch out.
Oh, it must be good.
Yeah. You want any more?
I guess I'd do a tiny half.
All right.
Small half.
All right. We'll do a
Quarters
small
each.
half.
But
We'll move on to
Doing
the
another
questions in a hat segment. Now, these are not really about.
can I have that last beer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. These are not about anything that we do. These are just random
It's
questions.
just about our.
Got plans to go see the Bats for the first time tonight.
You've never seen the Bats before?
I've never seen the Bats. I saw them once on accident.
You've been here this long?
Yeah.
That's
That
crazy.
was-
All right, salute.
I used to see him.
Oh
all the
shit! I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Don't worry.
time. Salute.
No problem.
Will's drunk.
Don't worry.
Bon top. Salute.
Bon Temps Club. All right.
That second one's a lot easier.
Bats are fun, dude. I used to pass them all the time when I lived down over there by the RV park.
All right.
It's
So
I saw
Especially
one time
right now
I
in
was
the
like
summer.
driving over the bridge and they're all flying out. I was like, oh, look, it's the bats.
I did it
I've
once
heard
when I
about
was
them.
looking at colleges
awesome.
here, and I've never done it again. But you know, they're always there.
It's great.
Yeah. When you go under the bridge, you can hear them squeaking and stuff. All right. So this is the questions out of a hat segment. There's a bunch of
Killer.
random questions here, not really related to barbecue.
Uh-oh.
These are about life. All right.
Philosophical questions or like...
Did we get to pick?
Well, you'll see.
let's find out.
You'll see. Yeah. You can pick a question if you want. You know what? Yeah, we can take turns. You can pick a question out of the hat.
I get to ask
you
This is
the
the hat.
questions?
This is my Sam's cup. Yeah, sure. Okay. What's your breakfast taco build?
Breakfast taco build?
Yeah.
Meaning like the proper like
What do you put in?
order of
Oh,
ingredients?
the
or-
ingredients.
Well, however you want to take.
Ooh, it's a
Yeah,
good
that's all it
question.
says right here.
I like minimal tacos. Like there's no more than 3 ingredients. Like to me, it's like that. If there's more than 3 ingredients,
Yeah.
you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
One of them should probably be cheese.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
No,
I
cheese
agree with
is
that.
Either egg or beans.
I like. Yeah. What's your favorite like?
Well, you haven't given your whole build yet.
Well, what do you mean
Well,
by
my
like the-
my
Like, what do you like on a breakfast
my number
taco?
one
All of them.
go-to is gonna be the PEC, potato, egg, and cheese.
Potato, egg, and cheese.
That's my number one.
Yeah.
My number 2 go-to is bean, egg, and cheese.
Bean, egg, and cheese. Okay.
And
do
those
like-
those are the 2 best
I'm
breakfast
into that.
tacos.
I like all of them except I'm not a big fan of like Negus as a breakfast taco.
Really?
It's got too much stuff in it.
It's too
Huh.
much shit.
Except for like Beto's where they just put like eggs, tortilla strips, and cheese in it. I'm like, this is perfect.
Betos is good.
Betos
Makes-
is good.
The jalapenos.
Yeah. So,
That's a solid answer.
man, I like a chorizo and potato because
Oh,
the
yeah.
potatoes soak up all the fat from the chorizo and you get to eat it all. It's delicious.
Another good one that's a sleeper is like papas rancheras or papas bravas or whatever,
Yeah.
however you want to say it. Like different people call it different things, but it's just really well cooked potatoes on a flat top with salsa on it. And some people put cheese, some people don't. It's just potato breakfast taco.
That sounds amazing. Where do you get that?
I get it at the taco window. It's called Taco Max, but like a lot of people
Okay.
have them.
Yeah.
But like theirs is okay. I've had better ones. But yeah, it's just a very simple potato with, their house salsa.
Yeah.
And sometimes I put a little cheese. Sometimes it's just potatoes and salsa.
I think I don't like strips of bacon in breakfast tacos.
I don't either.
I don't like strips. I like them crumbled up.
Yeah.
I'm
it all mixed in.
very basic. I like a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast taco because it sops up, yesterday's mistakes. And I don't like a strip. Yeah, a lot of people do the strip. Some people prefer that, but no, I like crumbled up bacon. You know what I really like? That's maybe you'll think it's too much, but the Granny's tacos, they got the chilaquiles tacos. Those are pretty good.
I like
don't know if you've
chilaquiles,
had
yeah.
those.
I like like crunchy tortilla
Yeah.
or just like tortilla inside of a tortilla in any manner. Like
Right.
an enchilada taco is good.
Enchilada tacos.
Well, for a
sounds
family
great.
meal, me and Thomas and I will make frigas, which is Fritos. It's amigos, but made with Fritos.
Yeah, Fritos
Instead
and
of
breakfast
tortilla
taco?
chips.
Oh yeah, you're big into the Fritos too.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best
My
chip in the
snack
world.
Chip of choice.
They had I don't remember if it's El Cholito or what's the one in airport that's near like where I Love used to be.
Tyson's?
Tyson's had a taco that had Takis in it, like a breakfast
Oh, really?
taco with Takis in that.
Huh.
Anything you're adding Takis to, I'm into. Yeah, it's dirty. It's yeah.
Sounds nasty as
It's
hell.
wrong, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the next question here. Is pickleball lame?
No.
Yeah, you like pickleball?
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played yet, but I'm willing to get into it.
All right.
I'm
that's
gonna
that
go
question.
buy me some stuff tomorrow.
Yeah. If you're stoned in, let's say, the regional grocery store, I'll just say HEB.
H-E-B?
Yeah. What do you grab? Hypothetically, we're not
Like,
accusing anybody.
what's your like?
If you're like really baked and you just find yourself in a grocery store and you're hungry, what are you grabbing?
Probably number one. I'd probably get a pepperoni frozen pizza, and then some popsicles.
Nice.
If I'm stoned at the store, I think I want something I can eat while I'm in the store
Walking
still,
around?
or walking out of the store. I would probably spend a lot of time in the bulk section just eating like random snacks.
Just like
while I thought about what I
little
really
cheese
wanted
balls
to
and
eat.
stuff.
I would probably settle on like probably like a sandwich. I don't know.
Okay.
Something you get out of the case.
Yeah.
I would eat in the store, and then I would get a sandwich to go and eat it in the parking lot.
That's a great answer. I've gotten recently into. They have
Some chocolate covered almonds.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten into. They have movie theater nachos and like the shitty cheese and like the
Canned
shitty
cheese?
like round like nacho chips.
Hell yeah.
That's my
That's your go-to?
bacon HEB
Yeah.
choice. Yeah, and also you did Takis in that if you really want to like hurt yourself. That's a good move. All right, next question. Pick 3 spots for your ideal Friday night.
What's today?
Yeah.
Oh, today's Tuesday, so I can't say 7-Eleven.
Friday night,
I don't know.
It's
Usually like
progression.
Friday, it's like Couch City.
home.
Like,
Hey, that counts.
it's like you have to do stuff. No, I don't want to do anything.
Maybe pick up food at Halal Corner.
Halal
and then,
corner.
And then back home.
If I was gonna go out, I would probably go to Kind of Tropical or Lowdown.
Oh, kind of tropical.
Okay.
Kind of tropical is a good spot.
Yeah, I like kind of tropical. You put your feet in a little foot pool.
It's a good Friday spot.
Oh, no, that's Kitty Cohen's.
Oh, I'm sorry, I get them confused.
They have like
You're
the
right.
little pool thing.
Pool
out
thing.
there.
Yeah, Kitty Cohen's has the pool.
Yeah.
I like kind of tropical. They got a decent burger.
You got good
That's
food.
good.
Good drinks.
Good vibe.
Frozen.
You know.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yep.
All right. What's your death row meal? You can make it big, anything you want, as much as you want.
Ooh,
but be
70-pound
specific.
I would just have the Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
The
Golden
death
Corral.
road.
You can have whatever
Steak
you want from anywhere
with
you want.
pizza and cheesecake. I don't know why. I don't know.
Okay. Hey, that's a great answer.
That would be
Steak, pizza, cheesecake.
That would be fideo that I get to make myself
I
and
would
eat it.
get
What is it?
Fideo.
What is that?
It's like a Mexican pasta soup.
Okay. That sounds great.
I go to the Olive Garden for the never-ending pasta and salad.
Just put it on
for the rest of
forever.
my
It's
life.
like it never ends.
I'm not done yet.
Meals not over till I am.
Somebody give me some more cocaine. I gotta stay up.
That one's I'm not gonna answer that one. Is food art and are chefs artists?
No.
No.
Depends on what your definition and interpretation of art and self-expression is.
All right, that's the end of that question. Music
Depends what you're
wise,
eating.
Yeah, if a granny who made the mother sauces for everything in France and Italy is the artist and her plate is art,
Sure.
then it's definitely yes.
okay.
But if it's somebody else, then maybe
barbecue is art. Is barbecue not art?
Sure.
Can be.
Can
Yeah.
be, but I
Not
don't. I
always
don't.
like anything else.
I don't consider it. I don't consider myself an artist. I don't consider
Okay.
it art.
Hey, fair enough.
I consider it work, and I consider it a labor of love.
Yeah.
You know,
delicious.
It's not like a.
It's not expression.
Yeah, it is an expression of
can be.
ourselves. Yeah, but
It's an expression of who you are and where you're from. And
yeah, it's like
I feel like that counts.
it's about community and
Yeah.
you know.
So it's art.
So
And you're
maybe
artists. You're both artists.
this is gonna be. We're gonna have to argue. This is episode 2.
All right. We'll come back to this one then. Music-wise, what are some of the greatest hits in your kitchen?
In the kitchen or just in general?
In the kitchen.
The
And-
slapping sound of dough in a mixer. Is that music?
That's
It's
something.
rhythmic.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Mine's Fugazi all the way.
Fugazi. Fuck yeah. Excellent.
Best band of all
In the
time.
waiting room. You're waiting for dough to rise.
Waiting for the dough to rise.
What has been the hardest day/night on the job so far? If anything sticks out as like, oh
Jeez,
man,
so many.
I never want to go back there.
Recently?
And whenever. If anything like immediately comes to mind.
Not,
Yeah, I mean,
not that. I wouldn't say
tough
this.
days, but
I wouldn't say this job. I have other jobs.
Smooth sailing.
No. We go through ups and downs. We're a food trailer, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Has
like
anybody,
anything can happen.
Yeah.
I showed up one morning. It's like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not as good as electrical as Tom is.
Uh-huh.
if
And
I was
the-
that good, you might be telling the story.
And then the plug that we get all our power from is a 220 plug was catching on fire. And I had to call Tom at like 6 in the morning. And I was like, I need your help to kind of.
Wow.
So he has to go to like wait till Home Depot opens and then go get like a whole brand new plugs. If not, then we don't open that day. You know.
It caught, which plug caught on fire? I'm
Just
sorry.
the plug.
Good thing about building everything with stuff from Home Depot is when it breaks, you can replace it like that.
Well, the thing is, like, you think about trailers, everything's out in the element. Everything's in the heat. Everything's in the sun. So everything gets worn out and beat up, you know? So
Right,
it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't,
right,
like
right.
that plug probably catches on fire once a year, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like,
At
we
least.
were just lucky that I was there at the time, because if not, the whole place would have caught on fire. You just think of all the brisket fat that's kicking around, you know? So,
Right.
you know, it's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
it's like little things like that. And I think most of the time we kind of block out a lot of the stuff that we have to deal with. And like you throw ACL in the mix, and you throw like
There's a lot of holes in my memory.
yeah, that's why we do the ketamine.
Perfect. Boring.
Why do you get to decide?
Because I'm the host.
How about I get to ask you the boring ones that you don't like?
Which one was this? No, I lost it. I'm sorry.
No.
What's your favorite dive?
Swan?
Was it?
Swan?
It's just called the Swan?
Favorite dive?
I don't know if I know this
Swan dive.
Swan dive. Oh. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, there's a place called the Swan Dive on
There
the east
is.
side here.
You mean
I
dive-
can't imagine
you mean
there
dive bar?
somehow. Yeah. It was your favorite
Ooh.
dive bar.
All time or just here?
Here
now?
in Austin, or you know,
Right
all
now?
time. I don't care.
Whatever.
it's
My favorite, like, weird, like, it's not like, it's a dive bar, but it's like the lamest, weirdest dive bar in Austin is the Cloakroom.
The Cloakroom. Okay.
You ever been to the Cloakroom?
That's
I
a
haven't
classic,
been to the
dude.
Cloakroom.
The Cloakroom is on the west side of the Capitol building at the entrance to the loading dock. It's underground, and it's the place where all of the, like,
Huh.
the interns,
okay.
the legislative interns and
yes.
like reps,
Go.
they go like for happy hour.
But
Oh, okay.
And
they
it's
have that high
very
dollar.
weird and just like it's like the legislative dive bar.
It's like the
Yeah.
high dollar lot lizards.
yeah,
Because it's like you're like in DC, but if DC was like drunk,
yeah,
right? Like,
In Texas.
and
But
didn't try
it's
so
like,
hard.
you know,
In Texas
cool.
legislation.
Right.
It's like
it's like low rent politician
Yeah.
hang out and have a drink.
Interesting.
bar.
Okay.
But it's totally a dive bar.
Cloakroom.
It's called the Cloakroom.
you haven't been, you gotta go.
Like,
I'll check
if
it out.
you don't
I-
work in the Capitol, you would have no reason to go there,
Okay.
except to like hang out with people that work in the Capitol.
It's fantastic.
Go to
I
Red
highly
Elbows with
recommend
the
it.
Hobnobs and-
Yeah, it's
okay.
great.
Or the
I would think, like-
assistants to the
I would think, like-
assistants of the hobnobs.
I think the butterfly bar is one of my faves, because it has that old
Which
Austin.
one? I'm sorry.
Butterfly bar.
Butterfly bar.
Because it has that old time feel. It like feels like old Austin.
Where's that?
East Maynard,
East Maynard. Okay.
next to me and Madres and whatnot.
It's
across
like
the
across
street.
you from Daiduwe.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I still need to
what's
go
the,
there.
The restaurant next door, the High
Patrice's.
Tower or something. The
Across the street.
no, it's not High Tower. That was over here. Yeah, the one that's right next to Daiduwe. It's like a sports bar.
It's a Haymaker.
Haymaker.
Across the street.
They got
Across the street
poutine
from
over
here.
there.
Well, yeah. Well,
You get excited about that.
Haymaker. Haymaker's across the
Yeah.
street from the Butterfly Bar.
Texas, we just
It's-
call it chili cheese fries. God damn it.
or a Frito pie. Vortex, Butterfly Bar, and Patrizi's. It's all one thing, but it's like it feels like old school Austin. It's like I wouldn't call it like a dive bar. It's just like an out. It's like this. It's like what we do, kind of, except
But less sophisticated.
That's right. This is a classy operation right here. Absolutely. I went to the Texas Chili Parlor for the first time like 2 years ago.
This place without the sense of aristocracy.
Without the Habsburgian kind of sheen.
Chili Parlor, huh?
What do you think is necessary for romantic love?
Ooh. What is necessary for romantic love?
For romantic love.
What do you say?
I'm asking you. I'm the host.
I'm interested, though.
I have an answer. I'll give it to you, but I have to hear y'all's first.
Mine is saying, "I love you" on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Talking about the daily or the starting of the blossoming
Or
of a
texting it at
romantic
least.
relationship.
This is all it says. It just says, "What do you think is necessary for romantic love?"
Oh, well, like a long-term relationship. Romantic.
For romantic love.
I think you have to have a lot of common ground. And,
Okay. Hey, fair enough.
you know,
And you have to make each other laugh at least.
Yeah.
complementary personalities and all that stuff.
I'll give you
That's
my
a given.
answer.
Yeah.
Complementary personalities. I mean, so my answer is I think there needs to be a certain amount of mystery. When we're talking about romantic love, I feel like it's like the kind of the beginning stages rather than like the lasting
Right.
love, right? When there's more mystery, your imagination can kind of run wild, right? And it helps if you don't talk so much. In my experience, I don't know, but
Are you talking to anybody specifically?
No?
So why do you smell like my roommate? Kind of thing. Heard.
all right, we're getting to the end right here. I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna
Sounds
ask
very
up all these.
romantic.
Yeah.
And wait,
Sounds
let me get.
kind of
Oh, you
scary.
just have to show you I'm a bona fide authority on this. I'll be right
Oh,
back.
man, you're making so much noise. What? Okay. How much should I drink?
How much did you drink?
How much should I drink? Oh, what is this?
We're at authority.
RomanticSpotsAustin.com.
We won.
I gotta share this. Micklethwait Craft Meats Hotspots 2023. That was this year. RomanticSpotsAustin.com. I never heard of this website. So, what is necessary for romantic
personally
love?
drove this over here, like a guy from
Romantic Spots
Romantic Spots Austin
.com.
pulled up in his van and hand delivered this to us.
That's amazing. Did you give him anything?
Damn right it is.
Did you give him any brisket for free or something?
No, it came out day we were.
No, we gave him. We made out. We made out.
You just kissed.
Well, that's how I got the plaque.
What's necessary romantic love? It's from Micklethwait Craft Meats. That's perfect. All right, this is the last question, and we're going to end the podcast. How much should I drink?
Right now?
Just in general.
Is this a challenge?
No, God no. Please,
How much
no.
should you drink?
How much should I drink?
At least one more.
Okay, all right. We can do that.
Well, I'll just say when I go to the doctor and they make you fill out a form and it says how many drinks do you have in a week, I always put 50 plus.
50.
Oh boy.
We do live in Austin, Texas. It's hard to escape here. You know, like this is the problem between. Excuse me, Jesus. See what happens. Going between. Do you want more? Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do this.
Going between New Orleans and Austin, there's
Pick
no.
up the romance a little bit.
There's no refuge. You don't want any more, do you?
I'm good.
All right. Anywhere you're hanging out between like with family or you're hanging out with friends, Austin and New Orleans. Salute.
Salud.
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
You know?
Between both of those cities, you're
'cause
you're stuck.
If I had like family in Denver or something, I could go and just like get
Utah.
stoned. Yeah, Utah. That's even better because they're not big drinkers, right? Like
No, you just-
Utah?
I mean, it depends where you're at, but like, no, not
Teetotalers.
really.
Some of them.
yeah.
Enough of that. Michael's working at a brewery there.
I know, I
He's a
saw
brewer.
that.
Yeah.
What do they make over there?
He does everything nowadays. What doesn't Michael do?
He's from here. He worked for us for about it's only like 6 months, I guess.
A year.
I might have met him.
A
at
year
ACL.
and 2 months.
Yeah, he was at ACL.
He was at
Yeah.
He moved.
He was a nice guy. Actually, no, I remember him. He was lively and
right after
comical.
that.
I like that.
No, he
guy.
came back for that. He'd already moved. He's working at a brewery up there now. I guess like craft brews a thing. Even in
Cool.
Even
So there's no safe place.
no
Really.
no.
Wow.
I don't think he's a big drinker. He's a bit like Austin.
Well, I don't know. I've shotgun beers with him.
Well, I mean he'll drink, but I remember there was this like at what's that boot place over in South Congress, Allen's?
That's yeah.
I remember
or
I bought Rob
Tacoma.
a T-shirt from there for his birthday, and it said, it was like perfectly written back in the days. It was like Austin's sleepy little town with a drinking problem or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and there was back in the days. That's kind of like nails what Austin kind of was. It was like music, drinking, and like chilling out. You know, it's like now it's like you know
There's no music and everybody's chill. We just drank.
yeah, we just drink. And then, you know, you do podcast in between those two.
Yeah. All right. Well, we might as well end it on that note. Thank y'all for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it. This has been a good pilot episode. I also hope so. You know, this is going to be on YouTube eventually.
I
So
try my best not to stare at the camera too much.
I like that you have like I put you right in the middle here. So it's the Tom Micklethwait show.
You got my
I
bad
like to-
side.
Yeah.
I like to look.
Is
at
that your
the
bad side?
saddle
I don't know.
sign outside.
If this is on YouTube, when it will eventually be, please
Oh, I
like,
hated that. Oh no.
like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll call it there. This is Bon Tom Club. This is the pilot. If I'm showing this to you because you're a restaurant or a bar, I'd love to do an episode with you because this is the pitch.
I highly recommend it.
So listen to him. He knows
free
what he's
tequila.
talking about. He's had a great time today. How about you? Have you enjoyed
Blast,
it?
Will.
Oh,
Love
wonderful.
it.
Thank you so
Let
much.
the Bond times roll on.
Let the Bon Toms roll on. All right.
Thanks for watching or listening to this episode of Bon Tom Club. I hope you enjoyed it. You can expect more of these every other Sunday. If you did like it, please like this video and subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Bon Tom Club. That's BONTEMPS Club. Thank you.